Hello friends, it is Link the Gulf Coast Gardener. Today is Monday, March the 3rd, and it's time to start potting up peppers from the seed starting trays into 4-inch pots. I have got this gorgeous tray of Jimmy Nardello heirloom Italian sweet peppers. You're going to want to get one or two of these, but it's time to move these into their 4-inch pots. Now I planted these at the end of January, so these are going on about 5 weeks of growth, and this is a 24 cell GrowEase tray. That's what I use to start all of my seeds. So I'm going to show you exactly how I pot up my plants from the seed starter tray right into the 4-inch pots. So let's get started. Here is everything that I use to move my plants from the seed starter trays into 4-inch pots. Now the first thing you'll need, of course, is a nice potting mix. I make my own, and it consists of a third peat moss, a third perlite, and a third shredded pine bark mulch that I pick up at the hardware store. Now, of course, you can use your own potting mix. You can buy it bagged up if you don't need as much as I do. But I pot up so many plants that it makes sense for me just to make my own. Now, I'm also going to go ahead and add a little bit of this Microlife 624 organic fertilizer, and it'll get the plants off to a great start. Now, the other thing that I use, and you'll see in a couple of minutes, is this little bamboo tube. On the bottom of these trays, there's a little hole, as you can see, right in the middle. That little tube fits perfectly into the hole and helps me pop that plant out of there without tugging on the top of the plant, and so I'm not going to damage the plant while I'm potting it up into 4-inch pots. And of course, these are the plastic pots. I use a ton of these, and this is a tray that holds 20. So let's get started. So there you have it. We've popped out 22 or 23 of these peppers, and they are perfect. You can see that they have a nice root structure, but they're not completely root bound. And another tip, before you start potting up your plants out of these GrowEase cells, let them dry out for a few days, because when the soil is drier, it tends to pop out in a whole block much more readily than if the soil is wet. When it's wet, it tends to kind of come out in a mush of mud and stuff. So let your plugs dry out a bit before you pot them up into the 4-inch pots. So there you have it, a gorgeous tray of Jimmy Nardello heirloom Italian sweet peppers. I ended up with 21 plants from that 24 cell seed starting tray. So that's a pretty good germination rate. I'm happy with that. So the next thing we need to do is water them in really well, which I'm going to do next. And then I'm going to put these plants on the east side of the house so that they get some morning sun, but they get plenty of afternoon shade. I want to make sure these plants get hardened off before I put them out into full sun. Well, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate everyone. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Be sure to share this with your gardening friends. And as always, have a fantastic day.